What's up guys, and welcome back to Park Series, episode 3. And in today's video, we are going to be building a B&M giga coaster. So yep, this coaster is going to be right beside the parking lot, which I think would be really cool if you just park and just see it right there. I know many parks kind of have parking lot giga coasters or hyper coasters or whatever, and I think it would look really cool to have one here as well. So I wanted to make a pretty interesting layout with this, but also have it packed with floater and also a bit of ejector airtime as well. I know it's pretty rare to have like long ejector airtime hills on B&M coasters in general, but I think it would be really cool to have it on this type of coasters. So yeah, basically wanted to go for a long like high-speed layout, and I think they worked out really cool as well. Also tried to build the element over the actual road right here, and that took a lot of attempts to actually get right, but at the end ended up settling with this thing right here, which I guess looks kind of cool. And then obviously I continued a bit more with the layout. So yeah, I didn't really end up doing anything too crazy with the layout, but here after the mid-course break round I tried to make like low to the ground maneuvers. They'll be a lot snappy and flowy and stuff like that. And I don't really think there's too much to say when you're actually building like giga or hyper coasters. There's just basically turns, airtime hills, more turns, more airtime hills. And then yeah, we were basically into the break run. And yeah, just to make this coaster a bit more interesting in general, ended up adding like a big structure to the actual lift hill. And it's a bit inspired on how lift hills usually look on like RMCs like Wildfire and Wildcat's Revenge. And I think it ended up adding like a lot of character to the actual build. And then after kind of finishing off this structure, I actually started to build the actual station building and everything surrounding it. So I went with kind of a military flight base kind of thing I guess, and also added a big fence around the entire perimeter I added here. And I didn't really end up actually detailing the building too much, and that's because I'm going with kind of a pretty simple style and there isn't really too much to add, but in the future I'm definitely just going to go back and adding some more details like here and there just to make it look a bit better. But yeah, I just ended up making a super simple entrance and exit sign for the actual entrance and exit I guess. And then started with the actual building, but I added this kind of stone walls surrounding it and then these like normal panel walls. I don't really know what they're called, but they look pretty cool and they kind of work with the theme pretty well as well. And then I basically did what I did with all the other buildings in the area, just to make everything a bit more cohesive and so everything just fits together a bit better. And then I just slowly added some details here and there just to make everything look a bit more realistic and just to tidy up the entire building just more and more. And also before adding the floor, I ended up placing this kind of fences around the actual exit. I don't really know why, but I guess it looks just a bit better and I think it looks just a bit more realistic I guess. And then also started building this kind of structure over the top of the actual queue line, just to make it a bit more interesting as well, and I think that worked out pretty well to kind of just finish off the area I guess. And then I just did what I do best here, and that was just to spam plants basically everywhere around this thing. I basically varied these two things and then also add in some variation with these kind of cherry bushes right here, which I think look really good as well. And then after that, it was time to start working on the actual terrain surrounding the actual roller coaster. So I ended up going with some elevation just around it to make the area a bit more interesting. And then a bit later you will see me build a lake right here as well. And yeah, I think that's just what this park needed, just to fill out some space and make it look a bit more complete in this area. I added this big lake right here, just surrounding the giga coaster, and also you go over it at some point as well. And I think that just looks really cool. I ended up actually building a flat ride on the other side of the giga coaster, but somehow the file corrupted of me building it, so that kind of sucks I guess. So yeah, before we head into the actual POV, let's just take a look around of what we have built today. Here we have the actual giga coaster. I am definitely going to add more decoration around here in between episodes basically, because I don't think it will be too interesting to do that on camera. And also I'm going to have to tidy up this area, because this just looks way too depressing. But yeah, I ended up adding one of these kind of flying coaster things, and I think that fits in really well here with the actual aviation area. And I think we can kind of call this area complete now. I'm gonna have a nice entrance sign and everything as well. But yeah, for the actual plans of the next episode, I think I'm gonna finish this kind of Africa area. I think I'm going to extend it to basically back here and adding a family coaster, I think, something like that. But now, without further ado, let's take this massive giga coaster right here for a spin, for a ride, and yeah. So yep, that was it for today's video. I really hope you liked it, and if you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe as well.